Hey, Maria back with another video. It's 1:23 p.m. It is Friday, July 26th, and I just got home. And while I walked in the door, I kept thinking, for the longest time, I was thinking about doing a live video. And I don't know if anybody's actually going to be watching this or not. And it really doesn't matter because this is kind of like a trial and error thing to see if I actually am comfortable being live. I thought about doing it on Facebook. But then I kept thinking, no, I'm not really familiar with doing things on Facebook. I know you have the ability to do that on Facebook, but I decided to do it on YouTube instead. So I was watching a video today, and it was called "Don't Let Anyone Plan Your Life." This was a video that was produced by the channel Finding the Truth About Gang Stalking, and of course, she brought up a lot of points about how when you're a targeted individual, you have people behind the scenes that are making decisions, major life decisions for you. And obviously, when you deal with these sort of people, you're dealing with like a narcissistic type behavior trait. And it can get pretty messy. So this video is for targeted individuals. And I don't know how long I'm going to be on here, but I just kind of wanted to encourage people to continue to fight for your life, continue to fight for what you want in life. Don't let other people trample over you, and don't let people make those decisions for you. I know everything is going on behind the scenes, but I can assure you that people that you know about what's going on with you. Okay, you may not know everything, but everybody that you're coming in contact with knows exactly what's going on with you, all the little things that are being manipulated behind the strings. So it's your responsibility to yourself to tell as many people as you possibly can about your situation. Now, some people who are on YouTube use fictitious names, which that's fine. I know in the past when I was on YouTube channels, I myself used a fictitious name about 10 years ago because I was doing, certain things, and I didn't really think it was that big of an issue. Okay. But when I realized I was a targeted individual, I wanted everybody to know who I was, because what's going on behind the scenes, there's a lot of gossip that you may not fully understand what's going on. And there's a lot of manipulation, of course. So you want to be able to get your side of the story out, and you want to be able to point out individuals who are going to, who are a part of this. Okay. So what I did was, many years ago, I had a YouTube account, and I haven't made YouTube videos in a very long time. So this is my new channel. Okay. I do have another channel I created about a year or two ago. I don't really use it, but I plan on doing it, using it more. But it's not relating to gang stalking. It's more talking about spirituality in general, which I might talk about later on, so I can direct you to that channel in the future. But I chose to use my name. And what I would encourage other people to do, because many of you guys don't know exactly who is behind your gang stalking. But in this situation, it's better for you to get the message out to everybody that you know. Okay. And you don't want to do it in a way where I would highly and strongly advise not bringing up certain things that might sound outrageous or fantastic. Because even though these things might be happening to you, like, for example, there's a lot of people who are being attacked by electronic energy weapons. I don't know much about that subject, but for some people who might be a part of your targeting but don't know about that part of it, or just the general public in general, some people are going to think that that's too far-fetched. Okay, you just want to stick to the facts, the things that you've experienced, what's happened to you, who was involved, things that people said to you, and things that they did. Okay. Also, I do encourage people to make videos. I do. I think that's a good way of doing it. You can also pass out flyers in your community if you go to a particular grocery store, or you frequent certain places or whatever. Because believe me, when you're a targeted individual, they want to know your routine. Okay, so the people that you see in these areas, they know who you are. They know exactly what they are, who you are, and this whole system. Okay, what's going on around you. So let them know that you are a targeted individual, and in the best way you possibly can. What I did when I started my YouTube channel, I decided to send my videos, my initial videos, to my employers, okay, my previous employers. And that does get their attention, okay. Now, I know that some people feel very uncomfortable about talking to people like this, they're superiors or whatever. But when you're a victim of gang stalking, your employers are involved in it, and they include other employers involved employers into it, so that they can manipulate your life, okay. People don't want to believe that their families are sabotaging their life. But the fact is, these sort of operations could not go on the way that they do, unless, of course, there's somebody who they don't have any legal authority, but they can't exist. Okay. You can't put these sort of situations in place unless, of course, there's somebody who is pretending to have authority over you in order to do this. Okay. So it could be your spouse, it could be your family, your blood relations, your siblings, it could be your mother, it could be whoever who's operating through these employers to manipulate your employment. So one of the things that this my friend who made this video was talking about is how you don't want people to plan your life, and they will plan every detail of your life, okay? Because this is how warped they are, okay? And it's actually a form of human trafficking. In my case, these people have been manipulating my employment, which I'm sure they've been doing it to you as well. So you need to understand, they will manipulate your employment, okay? And they don't think about how old you are, your needs you're going to have, because in their mind, they feel as though you have what you need. They will determine what you need to live, how you need to live, how you're going to spend your day, all of these sort of things. And it's a very, very painful and hurtful and depressing and demoralizing experience to go through. So if you have the ability to make videos, I suggest you make videos. Okay. I do suggest that you contact your previous employers. What I did was I made my videos and sent text messages to my previous employers to let them know. Now, at the time, they're going to go through all these like mental issues to where they're going to be torn, because they're like, well, what she says this, but her family says this. You have rights. Okay. No one has legal rights to do what they're doing to you. Okay. There are employment laws on the books in every state. Okay. That basically says that this is not supposed to happen. So you have to stand up for yourself. Now, in my case, what they did was they went around and talked to certain employment lawyers, and they were, filling their heads to not help me. So basically, I was stuck with nothing, because in reality, I should be raking in the dough right now. So I would never have to worry about getting another job in my entire life. Okay. And this is exactly the sort of tactics that they use. They will use the police department. They will use any form of law enforcement to get behind them, because in the back of these people's mind, that this particular person is in a position of authority. So we're going to comply with them, and we are not going to comply with you. Okay. Which is illegal. There is no reason why somebody should have any sort of say in your life. Okay. Without you knowing about it. And so you need to fight for your rights. So go ahead and send this information to your employers. I was talking to somebody on Facebook yesterday, or was it the day before? Every day is the same with me, really. Okay. But she was basically saying that she was asking that somebody mentioned mentioning the companies that, or the employers who actually got involved or mistreated you, participated in your gang stalking, your human trafficking, or whatever. And some people are concerned about being sued. Okay. But the fact is that you have more rights than you think you do. Okay. Because in actuality, these people are in the wrong. Okay. They don't have the right to put your house under surveillance. They don't have the right to deny you services. Like, for example, your family has no right to choose your job. They don't have the right. Okay. Now, a lot of people think that they do, but they don't. No legal right. Okay. So you have every right to turn around and sue them. So if they want to threaten to take you to court, let them take you to court. Okay. Bring it all out in the open, because you don't really have anything to fear. Also, what I wanted to say is that in my situation, I wasn't really sure exactly what was going on with my targeting in the beginning. Okay. And a lot of you guys are still kind of in the dark with not knowing. Okay. Some of you guys are going over to your family's house and you're spending time with them, and they are keeping this particular secret from you. In this case, I hate to say it, but you need to start doing some sort of investigating. You need to start, how you investigate your family. Look at body movements, mannerisms, and certain things that happen, in order, okay, that took place while you were going through this, okay. In my case, I will go see my family in the past, okay. I haven't seen them in years, okay. I haven't seen my family since 2015. That was the last time I saw them. And my gosh, time goes by so fast. It was like March of 2015. 4 years have passed. I have not seen them, and I will never see them again. I've decided to sever ties. And some people, there's going to be people who are going to say, well, you should forgive your family. You should do this sort of thing. I will tell you that many of you people, including myself, okay, have been abused by your family for years. So it's not just the issue of the gang stalking. It's not just the issue of the harassment. Many of you guys are family scapegoats, such as myself, who have dealt with years of abuse, mistreatment, okay, setups, and them, basically infiltrating your life, destroying your life, separating you from things that you care about. Like I have a sister who feels like she's in competition with me. Okay, like I know that some of the people that I used to know that I made friends with in my past are suddenly her friends. Okay. Because my sister is the kind of person, she has to have everything. She's a very greedy, self-absorbed person, okay? So you have the right. You have rights, and you should stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid of a lawsuit, okay? Because the laws are on your side. The employers are the ones who are in the wrong, okay? Trust me when I say this. They are the ones in the wrong, okay? You have nothing to fear. So most people, they might threaten you, we're going to take you to court, okay? But the fact of the matter is, if you take them to court, okay, then you have they have more to lose than you do. So they're going to try to sweep it on the rug. That's what they're going to do. They're going to do that. They're not going to want to draw attention to the fact that they are participating in what is considered to be the worst crime that you could ever commit against humanity. Okay, so take heart. Don't be afraid, and don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, because you have to. Okay, like I said, this is my first live video. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing them in the future. We'll see. I don't really have like a huge, what do you call it, subscriber base. Most of the people who subscribe to my channel are my perps. Okay, people like probably within here in my community, people that know me distantly, who are associated with my perps. Like I call them the collective. And then there are a few targeted individuals who do subscribe to my channel who are experiencing the same thing. This particular video is for you. Okay. Don't let anybody plan your life. Okay. Now, had I not noticed this, had I not realized that I was continually being put in situations over and over and over again that didn't quite add up. Okay. Because you're going out, you're looking for work. Okay, you're doing everything you can, but you're constantly getting into jobs that are below your skill level. You're constantly getting into jobs where you're kind of isolated and away from everyone. Okay, the reason why they're doing that is because they don't want you to live your life, basically. Okay, and they will never tell you, because if they were really concerned about you, they would say, hey, you know what? This is what I'm concerned about. We're going to do this. It's a constant form of manipulation, control, and abuse. Okay, so but some people don't realize something is after me. Like I remember going back 10 years ago when I was working in Chatsworth. I knew something was wrong. I didn't quite understand what was going on, but something dark was around me all the time, and I couldn't figure it out. Like it was enacted through other people because my family was involved in my employment. Okay, so if they were having a bad day and they wanted to take it out on me, then they would do that through the other employees. Okay, I didn't realize that. And then I would go over to their house, or they'd come over to my house, and they were all smiling in my face. You'd be surprised how your family would stab you in the back and be two-faced and are very envious of who you are. Okay. And my sister was very envious of who I am. Okay. She has been for a very long time. And I never wanted to believe that, because in my mind, it's like, your family, they're your family. And I don't have a shitload of stuff. I mean, my sister has more material possessions than I could even imagine. Okay. Most of the things that she would have, little gadgets and stuff, I never even knew existed. Okay. So why she would want to attack me, I really don't know. Okay. But some people are just like that. They don't want you to have any friends. They don't want you to have a life. They want you to make all those decisions for you. So if I had not found out that my employment was being manipulated by these particular people, they would have continued to do this for the rest of my life. And so you have to think about that. Okay. Think about, some of you guys are probably older than me. Okay. And you have been pushed away from your work, because in their mind, they think, well, I have some sort of say. I have the right to dictate what you do. No, they don't. Okay. And so they're going to continually put you in shitty jobs that you don't care about, that you don't really want. Okay. And how long is this going to go on until you get to the point where you're going to need like benefits to help you or whatever, but they put you in jobs where you don't have any. You see what I'm saying? So it's wrong to allow this continue to happen. And I know some of you are in the dark about who's involved in it, but I hate to say it. And you shouldn't, enact any sort of form of hostility to your family. That's not what I'm suggesting. But at this point in your life, you have to keep some arm's length distance from people. If you go over to your family's house, be polite, do whatever, but try not to put too much trust in anybody. And I hate to say that, but you have to be that way, because nobody is going to try to will ever confess. They will never come up and tell you that what they're doing. They will never tell you that. Okay. But I can assure you that if you are being targeted, if you are being gang stalked, your so-called loved ones are in on it. Okay. Because these kind of operations cannot work or be successful without some form of quote unquote authority. All right. So take your time, look at their body mannerisms, their movements. When they talk, do they avoid eye contact with you? These sort of things. I know when I was in Lancaster staying with my family, I was upset. I mean, I couldn't find work. And then my sister called me and she was pretending that she was crying. She was being like a total drama queen. And I knew that she was being fake. I knew it. I knew something was wrong. And she was like, the way she was coming off like a completely different personality. And then I got scared and I had to leave the house. And many of us targets, we don't have any place to go. We don't have any, we lost our support system. We never had a support system. I never had a support system to begin with. Okay. But I felt that when I moved back to my mom's house, I felt that I could be safe and I could find work and start over again. But it was too late because I had literally walked into a web of these particular control freaks. And that's when I got scared and I moved back in with my ex-husband. He wasn't my ex-husband at the time, but he was another perp, who is very crazy, I might add. So you have to be very careful. In this world, I hate to say it, you only have yourself. I know there's a lot of people who think they have friends and they think they have these great, support systems and these great groups or whatever. But the fact is that in this world, and it's sad, we came into this world and we have to leave this world all by ourselves, and we have to fight in this world. Sometimes all by yourself. And I know there's a lot of targeted individual groups out there that really want to help people. They want to help and give you encouragement and stuff. What I'm asking you to do is stay strong, but also take some sort of proactive measures. Don't be afraid to confront your employers. Okay, do it in the most, the nicest way you possibly can. Make a video, talk about your situation. Okay, explain it. All right. Send it to him. You don't have to mention names in the beginning. Just say, I believe this is what's happening to me. Okay. And then I'm dealing with community harassment. I'm dealing with workplace mobbing issues, and start sending it that way. And then as time goes on, really start thinking about what led you into this situation. Think about all the places you went, the people that you knew, things that people said. What happened to you in this when you started to realize that something wasn't quite right? Because I know it's easy for me because, pretty much all my life I've been going to work and coming home. So it was easy for me to start putting the dots together. Okay. But for some of you guys, it's not as easy. Some of you guys work a job. You might be affiliated with a particular club after work hours. You might have gone to a social gathering. You might go to church. You might have other groups of people, all kinds of people. So everything is thrown into the mix. Okay. But you need to write down exactly where you were each year, go back 10 years. Okay. Chances are your targeting goes back further than that. My targeting goes back years. Okay. I'm talking grade school years. Okay. My family has always been jealous. Okay. And it hurts to say that because, you don't want to think that people would be like that towards you, but they will. Okay. But go back and start really writing it down. Okay. And if there's something that somebody said to you, write the year that they said that to you. Okay. What does your family say? Okay. And if you bring this conversation up to your family, that I was having some issues at work, blah, 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 blah. Do you know anything about it? Look at their face. Okay. If they are avoiding eye contact, that should tell you something, or the change of the subject or whatever, do some digging around. Okay. You're not a helpless person. So do something to help yourself. Do something that's going to help you. Okay. Get out of this situation. I have been doing videos for the last 4 years on this subject. I started in September of 2015, and that's a long time. It's a very long time. And I have really, it was just a nightmare. I can't tell you, every time I'd go to a job before that, it would start off well, and then something would happen to where, they would create their mobbing issues. They feel as though your perps, okay, whether that be your family, your ex-spouse, whatever, they feel as though they want to control your life. Okay, this is what they want to do. They will not have a regular dialogue with you about it. They want to use other people to encourage you or sway you or move you into a particular direction. Now, a lot of you guys are dealing with cause stalking. Some of you don't have the same religious beliefs as your family. You have the right to have different religious beliefs than your family. You certainly do. Legally, you have every right to. And don't ever let them make this an employment issue, okay? Because it's really a discrimination issue when you're dealing with this sort of stuff, okay? But the religious thing was thrown on me, just things that really had nothing to do with employment, okay? All kinds of things that my reminder popped up. All kinds of things they're going to try to use to distract you and take you away from things that are rightfully yours, okay? They will think because they arranged your jobs in the past that now you're they will continue to arrange your jobs till the day you die. Yeah, that's what they are planning to do. They will even try to put in some sort of situation where they want the employer to contact them before they hire you so that they can decide your fate. Now, that's some arrogant shit, right? But this is the sort of stuff that they do. You have rights. You need to stand up and you need to mention this. Okay. You need to tell people. Okay. And then once you leave your previous employer, you need to explain to them why you're not able to find a job in your field. Now, I know that oftentimes when you try to sue an employer for previous misconduct, I guess that's what you call it, or whatever offenses, you do have a certain window. Okay. But if you can prove that you have not been able to find the kind of employment, adequate employment after a certain amount of time, there are certain things that you can in fact do. Okay. It's not impossible. If you guys can have access to a employment lawyer, and they didn't block that, then I suggest you go ahead and do that. Okay. If you can. All right. If you can't, then you're going to have to take things all in your own hands. Okay. But you have to do that. You have to take care of yourself, and you need to get the word out and do it any way you possibly can. Nobody has the right to dictate your life, where you live, where you work, what kind of food you're supposed to eat. It's so ridiculous. Okay. This is the sort of mind stuff that they do when they're jealous. Now, the funny part about it is that I can see that now that my sister has this deep-seated hatred towards herself. Okay. She can't deal with the fact that she's a failure. She can't. Okay. So anytime that somebody's happy, living their life or whatever, she feels like she needs to step in and intervene and do things so that when you fail, she feels better about herself. Okay. Like my sister got gastric bypass surgery a few years ago, about 10, 12 years ago. Okay. This is like the beginning of my targeting. All right. So it's okay for her to get gastric bypass surgery, but she wants to send people around my office to watch what I'm eating, because in her mind, there's a competition going. She can't be leaner than me. She can't do this. I want to be the one. I want to be the one. Crazy shit. Okay. And then she'll make up some bullshit story, and then they'll make up bullshit stories that you're in some sort of love relationship with somebody who's going to determine where you're going to work. All that stuff's illegal, all of it, and this is one of the things they did with me. I had a huge blow up on Facebook. Facebook is another ish thing that you should try to avoid. If you're a targeted individual. I know there's a lot of great people on Facebook to interact with if you're a targeted individual. Sometimes you have to be careful about these people. Some people are perps just posing to be targets, okay? But it does allow you some socialization, okay? But there's a lot of things that go on in Facebook. Like in my case, back in 2008, I was on Facebook, okay? And the majority of my pictures were just like me standing by a piggy bank. I had a picture of me and my son, and then I had this one particular picture while I was in my living room, was propped up on my couch like this, okay? Because my couch back was kind of like folding in. So I was propped up, and my sister saw that picture and started spreading rumors, okay? So my sister's the kind of family, my family in general, okay? I grew up with a very overweight family, okay? That because my mother was overweight, because my mother was unkempt, she kind of raised her children to not care about themselves. Okay. And I was, as a child, unlike, that's one of the reasons why you're a scapegoat kid, you start realizing that what your family does isn't normal. So you make an effort not to be anything like them. So then the family with their warped mindset think, well, what's wrong with her? Something's wrong. It's kind of like the Munsters, right? Where Marilyn was the normal one, and then she's got these monster family, right? Nothing that's saying that there's anything wrong. I don't hate on overweight people because I understand the struggle. Okay, I do. All right, I do. All right, but sometimes you can develop a certain mindset to where you want to crush people who don't want to be overweight. Okay, I don't see anything reason why somebody should be overweight. I don't. Okay, I don't like it. I don't like, sweating. I don't like the pain. It's uncomfortable. I just don't see any point in it. Okay. That's not something I should have to justify to anybody, but to family members, previous family members who get jealous over that sort of stuff, and she's jealous, okay, obviously. That's an attack on her, because she's narcissistic and everything is personal with these people. So they will do everything to sabotage your life. So even they don't care. Don't think about love. Your family doesn't love you, okay? And often cases when you're a targeted individual, it's a hard thing to accept. But the reality is, a lot of people don't love their children. A lot of families don't love each other. They just don't. They're more jealous. They're more backbiting. They're more willing to tear your eyes out than actually truly help you. And it's sad because, and don't let all that ideas of that, people care about you and all this other stuff. Okay, hang on a second. I got some people who actually or some people actually watching. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Eternal One says, I want to chat with you in real time, but my typing speed is at snail pace. By the time I commented something you said, you're on a whole different. So yeah, I know. I switch around a lot. I do. Only unless, of course, I have a written script. Do I actually stay on things? But there's so many different things in this particular. And if you want to follow up with me on a regular email, that's fine. I'm available through Skype, Eternal One. I'm also available through Facebook, so we can talk some other time if you want to, because I'm in that talking mood anyway. It's the weekend, right? By the way, it's 104 degrees outside, okay? So I'm stuck in the house this weekend, and I'm bored as hell. All right, seriously, it's terrible. But yeah, so basically what I wanted to say in this video is, do things to take care of yourself. Do things to protect your interests, your life path, okay? If you want to practice a particular religion and you're not harming anybody, that's your right as an American citizen to do so. You don't have to explain or justify yourself to anybody, okay? If you want to eat yogurt at your desk at work, you don't need a bunch of employees coming in and spying on you, okay? That is extremely uncomfortable, intrusive, and just wrong. And these people go back and they gossip and tell your main perp, okay? People will do all kinds of things to try to get you off your life path, okay, out of jealousy. And it's sad to think that your own family would want to hurt you like that. It's very, very sad to think that, but they will. They will do that, okay? And the hurt that they've caused it's unspeakable. Unspeakable hurt, okay? And not because I'm sentimental to these people anymore. It's just that they've hurt my life because I'm in a situation where I'm not happy. I'm not happy, doing the same shit every day. I'm not happy coming home from work at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I like a full day's work. Now, my sister's a lazy fat fuck. Okay. She is. She's the kind of person who rolls out of bed like whenever she fucking wants to. And she doesn't take care of herself. And so she thinks, oh, a part-time job is good for her because she's lazy. I'm not the lazy type. I like to get up, hit the ground running. I want to do stuff. Okay. I want to work. I'm just one of those people. Okay. I appreciate having a job. I appreciate it. So I'm one of those people. I'm very grateful. I like doing what I'm doing. I like to use my mind. I like to contribute to the workplace. What's wrong with that? Right. But for people who are jealous, boy, I'll tell you, they could get really cutthroat about that sort of stuff. And they'll do all kinds of illegal things to manipulate people. And they will put on their little smiley face and pretend that they are such good citizens. When you are a scapegoated person, your other siblings might be one particular child in that family, might be like the golden child. So they'll use you to build their popularity, their friend base. Okay. Because they want it to make it look like Maria doesn't go to church. She's bad, but I'm good because I go to church. Okay. Even though they might molest their children or whatever, that doesn't matter. The fact is they're good because they go to church and they can wear the mask is basically what it is. They can also, use you, like they'll also pretend to be like, I'm a concerned person. Maria's sitting there eating yogurt at work. I know that she goes for walks sometimes, when the weather's nice. I think she might be possibly having an affair. No. Okay. Not everybody wants to be a fat ass. Okay. It's really that simple. It just is. Okay. Like I said, I'm not bashing people who are overweight. I do know the struggle. Okay. I do. I know I've been overweight a few times in my life and I didn't like it. And I know that a lot of people make an effort to try to change themselves. And I think that they should. If they're not happy, then change yourself. If you're happy that way, then fine. But do respect the fact that not everybody wants to be that way. Okay. Not everybody's comfortable. Not everybody believes that's the way it should be. And that's just how it is. So it's about learning how to respect other people's rights. As far as forgiveness is concerned, I'm going to say, for me, I will never forgive. I will never forgive because I think of the years they've taken from me. I think about the years and the pain that these people have caused me throughout my grade school years. The most precious moments of my life were taken from me. And now at my older years, they were trying to suck that up too. Okay, these people will stop at nothing to continually take from you. So to think that you can forgive them and develop a relationship with them and you can smooth things over and you can work it all out, you're a fucking fool if you think that. Okay, you are a fool if you believe that. Because narcissistic people are not going to change. We will always be that way. Now, I don't know which perp family did this, but recently I had a job interview, a phone interview, right? And everyone knows I wear wigs to work, right? Everything that they're going to do for you, if they think that you're cool with them or whatever, everything that they're going to do with you is going to be some sort of backhanded compliment or some sort of insult to you. So they arrange through another employer, and I notice they always have to use another employment agency outside of this community. They can never use like Act One or anything because they burn bridges with Act One. Not my fault, right? But they'll use like some other company that's not as well known or whatever. They'll contact you. So she was basically offering me a job that was for a company for Hasidic Jews because Hasidic Jews wear wigs, right? I don't want to base my life around my hair. Okay, my hair is just a part of my grooming. Okay, it's something that it's well kept. It's nice and neat, and it's something that I can present myself to an employer. If you were to wear your hair in your natural state, then they would about that too. Okay, so it's just whatever the case is. My point is these people will never change. They will never be worthy of your forgiveness. Because if they pretend to be nice to you, they're always going to have that knife in your back. They're always going to twist that or try to twist that into your back. Okay, so there's no point in you thinking that, it's going to work out. It will not work out. Okay, if they're jealous and competitive towards you, they're always going to be that way. They will never want you to see you get ahead, to be better, to improve your situation. That is just the way it is. Okay, so I know sometimes it's very painful because the mask that they wore in front of you many times was kind, loving, and you have developed affection for your family members, which is understandable. Okay, that's what normal people do. But you have to realize at some point that they're bad for you, and you gotta cut them off. I strongly encourage that. As far as Eternal One, you can contact me on Facebook. I don't know if you're on Facebook or not. I am on Skype. I will go ahead. You can send me. Let me give you my email address. There. You can send me an email, and then I can tell you my Skype information. I don't have it right on top of my head. We can talk on Skype, or we can talk through Facebook, whatever. That's fine. So anyway, I think I've said enough, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping around. I'm also angry today, a little bit, because I've started thinking about more stuff and the audacity of these people, and that's what gets you so much, because they will lie to you in your face, okay? And they feel as though they have control of this situation, like they have, the confidence of people, important people like your bosses and stuff, and they trick your bosses into thinking that this is okay to do. It's not okay to do. Okay, it's not. So maybe I'll follow up and put more employment laws, or I think there's one of my videos that I have employment laws listed to where you can send them to your employer and say, I think this might be going on. And if it's not going on, then hey, whatever. Okay. But I encourage you to do what you have to do in order to protect yourself and your future. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, Eternal One, for tuning in. I appreciate it. And I'll be back with another video later. Bye-bye.